why this type of Facebook audience attracts qualified coaching clients. All right. One of the biggest problems coaches have is they're always using the wrong audience and they don't know what to do in terms of what is the right audience on Facebook in order to get qualified coaching clients who have the money. And a lot of coaches, I don't want to say believe this, but sort of believe that there's like one secret little audience that's full of people that'll just throw their money at you if you find that audience. Now, there's not that, but there are certain types of audiences. And in this video, I want to talk about the one type of audience that I believe works best for attracting coaching clients, especially if you're a coach who's doing around $5,000 a month. You're getting clients from organic outreach and stuff like that. And you have some assets in terms of audiences and email lists and stuff like that. So let's get into the best type of audience that you can use right now is what's called a lookalike audience. Lookalike audience. Now, what is that? Well, let's talk about it. Okay, so on Facebook, they have data and Instagram on billions and billions of people, right? I don't even know how many billions right now, but a lot. And so what you can do is you can take your email list, and you might not have it yet, but you will have this if you do this long enough. So let's say you have an email list of subscribers, a newsletter list. You've got 600 people on this list, okay, or 800, or I don't even know how many you got, but let's say you have it. And if you don't, I'm going to show you other ways you can get it too. But you have 1,000 people or whatever. You take that email list and you extract it from your email service provider, and then you can upload it to Facebook in the audience section. And let's say for the sake of this conversation, you have 500 people on that list. What's going to happen is Facebook's going to take that audience and they're going to match it to all the people on Facebook who have email or phone numbers on that email list, okay? So they're going to go into Facebook and they're going to be like, does that person exist? Does that person exist? And they're going to get what's called a match rate. It's going to be like 80% or something like that. And it's going to be, it's different for everybody, but let's say it's 400 people. Now what you have is this custom audience of 400 people. So then what you can do is they will prompt you to be like, hey, would you like us to go find all the people on Facebook who look like these people? And you can do that. You always do 1% because it's the smallest, and it'd be 1% of the country, USA hypothetically. So it's going to be whatever, I don't know, 2.8 million or something like that. And what that means is they're going to go out and find all the people who look like the people who are on that email list using something upwards of 1,000 data points. Now think about that 1,000 data points, okay? That's a huge data pile because you got to remember, Facebook knows everything. They've been tracking people. A lot of the people on your on Facebook who are in your audience right now have been on Facebook or Instagram for like a decade. And so Facebook has all that data. And what they're trying to do is match you an audience that matches your people. And then you can run ads to that audience. Now, I want to talk about 3 reasons why you should use lookalike audience. And if you don't have a lookalike audience or an audience yet, what else you can do. The first reason you want to use it is because of the data. Facebook has the data on these people, and they've done a tremendous job at finding them. So you can use a 1% of your newsletter list, a 1% of your email, of your like Instagram or LinkedIn followers, 1% of people who registered for your webinar, 1% of people who showed up. Like there's all kinds of lists. I have about 20 of them or so, maybe even more, that I use. So that's the first reason you're going to want to use this. It's incredibly targeted. Now, the second reason you're going to want to use this is what it does is it gives you a better layer of targeting than interest groups, okay? Now, what a lot of coaches do when they start out is they use those interest group audiences like followers of Oprah Winfrey, followers of Warren Buffett or whatever. They're not that targeted, okay? They really aren't. And so you want to use something a little more targeted if you can, because again, the more targeted the audience is, the better chance you're going to find people who actually have money and want to work with you. Now, so then what's going to happen is you're going to find those people, you're going to get it dialed in, and then it's so much more powerful than the interest group targeting, because the interest group targeting is only finding one data point, whereas whereas the lookalike is finding like almost 1,000 data points in some cases, and it works really good. Now, so those are the first two reasons you want to do that. Now, here's the cool thing. You can hook in income targeting as well. So check this out. You can build a lookalike audience of, and it'll be, by the time you whittle it down with your age range and your gender and your country and all that, it's going to be about 1.5 million people. All right. So you're going to basically be targeting 1.5 million people with your ad. Pretty targeted. But here's what else you can do that's even more powerful. You can add in below that in the audience section, target people who are have your income targeting. Okay. So what that means is you can target people based on income targeting of top 5% of household income in the US, 10%, I think 20%, and then 50%, something like that. There's 4 different options. So let's say you wanted to target people with the highest household income of 10%. So you would narrow it by 5% and 10%. And now you're targeting the top 10% of household income in America who are also on this lookalike audience of your webinar registrations, hypothetically. Do you see how powerful that is? So that is targeted. Here's the problem, big problem you got to watch out for. The problem with this is you can get too small. Here's what we found. I've coached over 1,300 coaches over the years. I spent almost 2.8 million in the last 2 years alone on Facebook ads for my own stuff. And what I've found is when you go under about 1 million people, the audience gets too small. All right. So what you want to do is you want to expand and keep that audience around 1 million people. So let's say you want to target 1 million people, or your audience comes in at 1.5 million, and then you target the 5% of the household incomes. That's going to bring it too small. So you want to add in 5, 10, maybe 20% to keep it to 1 million. All right. There's one more thing you need to understand here. Before I get to that, I want you to do something here. First things first, what I want you to do is one thing right now, click the subscribe button. The reason is because I have all kinds of videos coming out. And like I said, we spend a ton of money on Facebook ads getting coaching clients. And then we share what we're learning, what we're doing, what's working here for free on YouTube. And so you're not going to know about the upcoming videos unless you hit the subscribe button. So hit that subscribe button. You're going to get all the updates coming in when you come on YouTube, and you're going to see all the new videos we have created. You never know which one might be the one that you need at the exact time. And the good news is free, so hit subscribe. Now, the most important thing you got to understand about these lookalikes is you can continually update them. And this is the cool thing. So as you continually get better clients and better quality people coming through, you can create a new lookalike audience every month and just keep uploading a new audience. And it's super easy. It takes about 15 minutes or every second month. And you just constantly are creating these cool audiences. And it's a very powerful strategy. So I would encourage you to look into your lookalike audiences, layer them with income targeting, and it could very well help you attract a lot more qualified coaching clients who are willing to invest whatever it is that you are charging for your coaching services. All right, I have something very important for you. What I have is I have an upcoming free webinar on the 300-word Facebook ad strategy and snowball system I use to scale my coaching business to multiple millions of dollars. And it's also what my coaching clients use. It's a very powerful strategy. Click in the description or in the pinned post to register for that webinar, where I'm going to share with you the 3 things that are working right now to start on a small budget, how AI is working to make it easier than ever for coaches to find qualified people, how you can get started like 10, 20 bucks a day, start attracting qualified buyers, how to be seen as the only option on Facebook, and what are the 3 biggest mistakes coaches are making that's causing them not to succeed. It's a super important webinar because, like I said, I've spent a ton of money on ads, and all of our learnings and what we're discovering and seeing is going to be in that webinar. So click in the description or in the pinned post, get registered for that webinar, and we'll see you over there.